All right, so this is something I see happen a lot, and we definitely want to touch base on it. How we are striking those power shots can often be tricky. Okay, are we using the rotation of our body, the core, all those types of things? So something that we want to think about when we are hitting, let's say, a high forehand, a high backhand, any of those types of things. What I see very commonly is we got this big old juicy ball right here, and then suddenly it's in the bottom of the net or the back of the fence, okay? So there's a couple reasons for that. If my non-dominant hand is here and I go strike this ball, that paddle hand wants to naturally go down into that shot. So that can be a tricky one. The other thing is my body's just too open. I'm not rotating or anything. So what I want to do in practice as often as possible is leading with the opposite shoulder, okay? And then I'm protecting my chest as it comes in. So I don't want my opponent to see my chest as often as possible. I'm actually using my non-dominant hand to protect that bullseye, okay? So what I want to do when that ball is going to my right, I am turning and leading with my opposite shoulder, okay? So this is getting my hip to turn, my weight to transfer and to release from this leg, okay? And now I can move through my shot. So really simple thing to think about. If your paddle finishes above the net, there's a good chance that ball is going over the net. If the paddle finishes below the net, there's a good chance that ball is going into the net. Okay? So just remember, we're using our shoulders to actually create net clearance. Okay? So the ball comes onto the left side. I'm now leading with my right shoulder. So again, it's turning my hips and it's turning my body, and you cannot see my chest. So if I'm going for a ball like this, please hit me. I deserve it. Okay? I'm in a bad position. That's something to be aware of. So just because we think there's a high floaty ball we have to get to, the first thing we do, and I know it doesn't sound logical, is you reach with the opposite hand, okay? Surprisingly, that does get you closer to the ball. You'll often see players kind of pulling their elbow like this because we're twirling this way and we don't know what we're doing, but we want those shoulders to be even and that head to stay high, and now that creates a nice range of motion to the ball. Anytime we're on that court, a forehand or a backhand, lead with the opposite shoulder. Always think of that. Even if that ball is right into my body, if I'm taking a forehand, I'm going to kind of curve in my shoulders as much as I can. A backhand, there's my shoulder rotation. But I want to make sure this part of the body is working. Okay? Too often players are just getting squared up and lateral and not moving to the ball in a way that's efficient. Okay? But also, you're going to get way more power, way more net clearance, and a lot more options when you are leading with your shoulders versus leading just with your paddle.